Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for July 10th. July 10th is the 191st day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 192nd in leap years, with 74 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is Susurrous. Susurrous is an adjective that means full of whispering sounds. Think of any kind of sound that resembles a whisper. A light breeze through the trees, perhaps, or the murmurs of intrigued theater-goers. I do love living among susurrous trees. The word susurrous comes to us from Latin. First known use is in the 1820s. Susurrous. Susurrous was suggested by YouTube viewer Ginger Rush and affirmed by YouTube viewer Dogbite. Thanks, Ginger and Dogbite. And if you have a word you'd like to see in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. Now, July 10th is Statehood Day for Wyoming, and that's what we're going to talk about today. If you'd like to see what I had to say about some other things that happened on July 10th in the past, I'll post a link to last year's episode for you. It's a perfectly good episode, and I think you'll enjoy it too. So check it out. And with that, Wyoming came under American sovereignty by way of the Louisiana Purchase back in the early 1800s. Wyoming was named after the Wyoming Valley in Pennsylvania, which is fashioned after a Lenape-Munsee word that meant at the Big River Flat. The Wyoming Territory was formed in 1869, and Wyoming became the 44th state of the Union on July 10th, 1890. Its capital and largest city is Cheyenne, Wyoming. Wyoming is the 10th largest state by area and yet is the least populous state and is the second lowest in population density after Alaska. Wyoming's nicknames are the Equality State, the Cowboy State, and Big Wyoming. Wyoming's motto is Equal Rights, and its anthem is a song called Wyoming. People who are from or live in Wyoming are called Wyomingites or Wyomingians. Wyoming's state bird is the western meadowlark. State fish is the cutthroat trout. The state flower is the Wyoming Indian paintbrush. And the state tree is the plains cottonwood. The state mammal is the American bison. And, by the way, no matter how laid back they seem from the road, do not try to pet these guys. You don't need a selfie with a bison. They are wild animals. Very large, very strong. The state reptile is the horned lizard. For as remote and sparsely populated as Wyoming is, it's home to a number of fascinating natural and geological features, as well as some history that might surprise you. For example, the women's suffrage movement began with a convention in Seneca Falls, New York in 1848, but Wyoming was the first state to grant women the right to vote in 1869. The 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote was passed in 1919. Wyoming has several historical trails that run right through it: the Oregon Trail, the Mormon Trail, the California Trail, and the Pony Express route went through Wyoming. You can visit some of these to this day. In addition, Wyoming is home to Grand Teton National Park, Yellowstone National Park, and Devil's Tower National Monument. So plenty to see and do in Wyoming. Happy Statehood Day, Wyoming. Now we have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That, and words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That, and I'll leave links to those playlists for you. And as a reminder, if you'd like to see about some other things that happened on July 10th, I'll leave a link to a previous episode for July 10th, and you can check that out. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. all those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.